Welcome to D.I.Y. Automotive School with my friend Pete and Minnie, the body shop girl. It's everything you need to know about cars and more.
Alright, we're still working on our 1964 Volkswagen pan. Now this is a Karmann Ghia / bug pan, it's the same thing. Just because you have a Karmann Ghia, don't think that it's not the same as the bug, vice versa. Okay, so we placed the floor pans, we went ahead and drilled all our holes out. Okay, I showed you how to measure those holes to make sure that they're right. I showed you how to measure from the center fucking tube there and then come out, okay? So it's very important to make all your measurements. The last thing that we're gonna do here is, this is our old track, okay? It's no good, all right? So what the owner did, he went and bought some brand new tracks, okay? If you look right here, these are probably universal tracks that will fit any Volkswagen, because I noticed that these two holes right here are in a different location, okay, than the original one. So what we gotta do first is we're gonna have to measure, because it's got this plate right here. This is a stopper plate, okay? That plate has got to be installed on the tracks. So what I'm gonna do first, I'm gonna go ahead and measure those holes out so I can drill those holes so we can put this little plate on here. Now I do have those plates, I gotta find them, but we do got them. Let me go ahead and do that, okay? And we'll be back with our floor pan as we're finishing it up, installing our brand new floor tracks. All right, if you look right there, I went ahead and installed the stopper on there, or the hook, or whatever you want to call it. Okay, there it is. And if you look right in the center, I went ahead and drilled me a hole right in the center, and I spot welded that on there just like it was from the factory. Okay, because we're trying to do it just like it was from the factory. I could have came back here and I could have welded it on the sides right there and done all that, and you know, but I like to do stuff the right way instead of the half-ass way. If I would have had to weld that on there, I would have done that, but since it was a nice easy fix, I went ahead and I just put a spot weld on there just like from the factory. We got our two brand new tracks. Now when you buy these tracks, they're going to tell you that you don't need the center bar, okay, the center bar. Do not throw anything away until you are completely done with the job. Before you remove that track, okay, make sure that you take your tape measure and you measure it in this area where that front bar is going to end up, okay? Do you see what I'm saying, the crossbar? Measure from your floor over to the track to make sure you get the precise measurement, because what's going to happen if you don't do that and you throw these in the trash, you're fucked. You just stuck it in your own ass. So what I got here, I went ahead and took my grinder and I cleaned this all down to bare metal in this area. Okay, from the old floor pan, before I removed this from the old floor pan, I measured from this lip right here, okay, I measured from that lip out, and it was 1/4 inch, okay, from this lip right here before we get to this ridge, okay. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to measure 1/4 inch, but you know what, I'm fucked here because I'm not thinking right. Now you got me confused, and I don't want to screw myself in the ass. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my old floor pan, which is right here, okay. This is our other floor pan. Okay, this is actually the driver's side, okay? This is our passenger side. And what I did, if you look, this is the way that you want to cut it out. So you want to be able to make sure that you got places that you can measure off of, okay? Of course, before you cut all this out right here, you want to make sure that, you know, you measure there to there. And I know that that was 1 3/4 inches, I believe, but we're going to double check it anyway, so anyway. Write them down. See, you ought to do something better than my friend Pete and write the measurements down. That's what you ought to do. Because I didn't write my measurements down. I remembered them all day and now I fucking forgot. Thank God that I did it this way. So I'm going to measure from the back section here, and I'm going to measure up, and it says, if I hook it on there, it says exactly 1 inch. Okay? So we come back from the back here, and my tape measure is fucking broke. There we go. My tape measure's on its last leg. So I'm going to measure up from this ridge right here. I'm going to measure up 1 inch. Okay? And then I'm also going to come over here and I'm going to measure 1 inch. Okay, now I know that that's how far the track has got to go up. But we're not done there. Okay, we're not done there because now what we got to do, let me get this out of the way. Now what we got to do, okay, is if you notice I removed my track. Okay, now I know where this goes, all right, which is right there. Okay, approximately 1 inch. I'm going to go ahead and measure this because I think this was 3/4 of an inch. I believe this was 3, so let's just double check. Okay, if that lip was right here, that would have been 1/2. Okay, so yes, that was 3/4 of an inch. All right. So now we know where the front of our tracks are going. If you look right there, see? Okay. And what I'm going to do, all right, this was 1 1/4 inches. Okay, it was 3/4 and 1 1/4 inches. I know that for a fact. So if I pull this out here to 1 1/4 inches, I'm going to pull this back right to there. Okay, because that was 1 1/4 inches. Okay, and I'm going to make sure that this is 1 1/4 inches right there. We're getting a little crooked here. You want to make sure that everything is parallel and right. That's 1 1/4 inches. Okay. And as I'm doing this, I'm seeing where all my stuff is going to end up. Okay, we still got 3/4 of an inch right here, so that's good. That's where our track's going to go right there. That's the situation we have. Okay, so we got 1 1/4 inches here. All right, sure. Within just a hair. And then we also got 1 1/4 inches here. Right there. And then we're going to go ahead and measure this. That's going to be 3/4 of an inch. Okay, and since we're missing this, we're going to have to rely on the edge over here to make sure, there we go, that that's going to be 3/4 of an inch. Let's go ahead and measure this one more time. 1 1/4 inches. 1 1/4 inches. That's where our floor track is going to end up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my magic marker and I'm going to lightly trace around. Okay, lightly trace around the track, just like you're seeing me do right here. Okay? And then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to do the same thing right here, see? Okay, now that that's marked, what we need to do is we need to make the most important measurement. Because if you notice when you take your track, you just barely bend the old track and it's going to come out of whack, okay? So it's very important to be very careful with these, all right? Because what we're going to do now is we're going to measure what the distance is between the two. And as I'm looking at this, I see that I have approximately 20¼ inches. What we're going to do is we're going to double check that with this one because we haven't removed this. See, this hasn't been removed. I'm going to check that, and that comes out to be 20¼ inches, okay? So, what we're going to do next, I'm sure everybody knows this, is we're going to take our seat tracks, our brand new seat tracks, just like you see here, and before I do anything, I want to show you what I did. I went ahead and took a 1/4 inch drill, okay, drill bit, and I went ahead and drilled all my holes in it that I'm going to use to spot weld that on, okay? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to line this one up just like that, okay? Because that's where that goes. That's where we want that, just like this. And I'm going to go ahead and put a spot weld on just the front, not the back. I'm going to go ahead and put a spot weld on that right here. I don't really care about the back right now. We're just worried about the front. Do you see what I'm saying? Okay, then I'm going to line this one up, because this is going to be our main one. And we're going to line that up just like it sits. Okay, just like that. And we're going to go ahead and do the same thing. If you remember when I marked this line right here, I went ahead and I marked this one out and I went all the way down. So I know that by lining that up with my magic marker, this one's going to be on the straight and narrow. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and put another spot weld right here on the back. Okay? And that one's in there pretty tight. So what I'm going to do now, I'll take my tape measure and go get me another one because the motherfucker just broke. So that's trash. Was that even my tape measure? Yeah, man. Okay, we got ourselves a good tape measure. Let's see where we're at now. Okay, I want to make sure that that's 20 1/4. Is that what I said, 20 1/4? It needs to come up just like that. You see how I'm using that? I'm pushing it into where I want it. Okay, that's what I'm doing here. So now that's 20 1/4. Let me make sure that this is 20 1/4 back here. Okay, there we go. I'm going to push this back. Do you see how I'm moving that to where I want it? See how I'm moving that? That's why I only put one spot weld up there, see? Okay, that's 20 1/4 right there. So what we're going to do to square it up, okay, this one here, okay, we're going to go ahead and spot weld this one down all the way. That way it ain't going to move back and forth, and then we'll be able to play with that one to get the final measurement that we need. Okay, we got that one welded on pretty snug, pretty tight. Okay, it's not going to go anywhere, and we're not done yet, but that's where we want to stop. I'm going to go ahead and double check my measurement back here. Okay, and I see that that's going to be 20 1/4. We want that there. But what I want to do before I do anything else, I want to go ahead and put a spot weld on the back here. So I'm going to go ahead and measure this one out. Okay, and I'm going to hold it at 20 1/4. As I'm measuring it. And I'm also going to push the track down to where it goes. If we hold it right there, that's going to be 20 1/4. Now we're going to measure it in the center one more time. Exactly 20 1/4. I'll go ahead and weld this on, because now we have the measurement that we need. Okay, once that's all welded down, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and brace this up, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Because we're not going to go ahead and add the center section back into it. The manufacturer of these says there's no sense in doing that, and I'm going to show you why.
Thanks for watching D.I.Y. Automotive School. Classes don't stop till you know everything.